What is going on, y'all? Back with another video. Hopefully, you guys had a fantastic day. Hopefully, everything is good. I want to talk about a few topics that has been pertaining to the world of sports. Mostly that evolves around Georgia Southern, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Atlanta Hawks. That's what I mostly talk about over here. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Georgia Southern Eagles as it pertains to the group of five, group of six. So let's get this thing started. Hopefully, you guys hang around. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think. First and foremost, the group of five or the group of six conferences, they need a playoff. I absolutely believe that they do. These guys have some great football that is being played under the radar that, they get a little bit of recognition, but not enough. We all talk about, the Power Fours, the SEC, ACC, Pac, not the Pac 12, but the Big 12, we always talk about the Big 10. We always talk about them. But the group of six, the Sun Belt, Mountain West, the MAC, American Conference USA, and I think the Pac-12 will be a part of the group of six. There's some great football there as well. Every Saturday I go look, and the big guys are on TV or whatever. But you got to go find some really solid football when it comes to this group. Now, when I say these guys need a playoff, is because they like I said, first of all, quality football is there, is overlooked, and they need some recognition. Every time we hear about a group of six team, they're playing like a big school earlier in the year, or they playing like at the end of the year. And, we talk about them hopefully that they can keep up with the team, and they end up getting blown out like we're the sacrificial lamb of the college football landscape, which I absolutely disagree. And on top of that, we also sit here and maybe we get that one team that does pretty good in the group of six, and they get the number 12 seed in the playoffs, and they get, beat up by the Power Four school, or if they're lucky, they may slither out a victory and go to the next round where they absolutely have no shot at the national title. So this is why I think they need a playoff. And not to mention, not just in the playoff, but this happens throughout the entire season where these bigger teams go in and play these teams, and they're just basically, hopefully don't get upset. So it should give these guys some type of recognition to say, hey, we'll play amongst ourselves for the most part and let the chips fall where they may in a playoff. Because they do that in the Power Four, they do that in the FCS, they do that in Division Two. So they all got playoffs, but the group of six, group of five, they're just sitting here like in limbo, hoping to play a bowl game and just let it be. Because I'm telling you, whoever is the representative to go into the playoff, they have no shot. They have no shot. Last year was Boise State. You see how that went. Then you turn around, I think it's going to be Tulane this year. They don't have a shot of winning it all. They absolutely don't. And I think they just do that just to keep things at bay, to make it say it's quote unquote fair. No, what's fair is to give these guys their own national champion. Let these guys do their own thing. Let the guys have their own playoff where, let's say, the top six, everybody who wins their conference, they get to go to that 16 playoff where I get, what is it, two? What did it be, like two teams to get a bye or something like that? And let them go through the gauntlet. Or it's something like that. I just off the top of my head, I can't think about it. So I think that this needs to be a thing. These guys need the recognition. There's some great players, some great kids that play in these conferences, and they deserve better. That's all. I think they deserve better. So I talked about this on my short, and I just wanted to reiterate it. So hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll jump over to the next topic. So I'm not gonna go to the basketball. I'm gonna stick with football right quick. I'm going to talk about Michael Penix. Michael Penix is going to go on season-ending surgery. He has a partially torn ACL, which I talked about this earlier this week as well, where it was like a rumor going around saying he had a partially torn ACL. Now it's confirmed that he does. He's going to have surgery, and that's pretty much the end of his season. So what did this do for my Atlanta Falcons? Well, not much. My Kirk Cousins going to be playing, and we're already 3-7, and the season look like it's pretty much over. There's not much that you can salvage here. Not to mention, you also have Drake London that is out as well. He's gonna be out for a few weeks with a I think he had a sprained PCL or something like that. So he has a knee issue as well. So I'm not saying you just throw the towel in on the season, but I mean, you're already 10 games in. I mean, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? What are we doing here? So I look at it like this, man. what could have been, it is what it is. The Falcons are falconing. They're doing their own thing. And unfortunately, that's just the way it's going to be. And looking forward, I don't know if the coaches are still going to be around. They may get fired. I don't know if the GM is going to be around. He may get fired. I don't know. To be honest with you guys, I don't even know if Michael Penix will still be around because he's injury prone. You got to understand, he's been injured 5 out of the last 8 years playing football. That's a lot. And this is one of the reasons why I kind of wish they didn't draft him. I did a video, or I did a live stream when they drafted Michael Penix, and I was kind of distraught about it because I kind of knew what was going on. But you ride with your team until the wheels fall off, and the wheels look like they fell off now. So it is what it is. But this is one thing I was kind of worried about. A lot of talent. Is he durable enough? Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know. I'm not going to say this might be the last time we see Michael Penix in a Falcons uniform, but I think he has all the tools to be a QB1. I think he does. But at the same time, your best ability is availability. And if you can't stay healthy, I mean, you're going to end up being like Andrew Luck. And I'm not saying Andrew Luck, it was a different circumstance with him. He just kept getting beat down. But the actual results are the same. You just end up being like Andrew Luck, and, you don't play anymore. All the talent is just going to waste. So it is what it is. So last but not least, let's talk about these Atlanta Hawks. They end up losing to the Detroit Pistons 120-112. I think they played fairly well this game. They did outscore the Detroit Pistons in the second half, but you look at that second quarter, that pretty much, tells you what's going on there. Even a part of the first quarter, but you see what's going on there. Now, when you look at these stats, not too bad, all things considered. You had 3 guys in with over 20 points, and you also had a guy, I think it was this guy, and you had Dyson Dames with 12. Not too bad, all things considered. But when you do look at what the Pistons did, it's basically, Cade Cunningham just went off in the fourth quarter. This game was like 98-99 at one point, and then they turn around and end up, running away with this game. And basically, like I said, Cade Cunningham took over. So you did this without Trae Young. You did this without Ricochet. You did this without Kristaps Porzingis. Well, when I'm looking at the total picture, you get maybe 1 or 2 of those guys back, you can compete with the Detroit Pistons. And this is a really good team. This is like a championship caliber team. These guys look like they're trying to do something here after having an abysmal couple of seasons. They're actually bouncing back, and you think the Hawks will do the same thing. And it seems like with them sitting at 9-6, they very well could be in that top 5 when it comes to the playoffs. And it looks like Detroit Pistons could be one of those top 2 teams in the East. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out when Trae Young comes back, when you get Ricochet, when you get Kristaps Porzingis. Even if you do get all these guys at full strength, how far can you really go? Because you really went toe-to-toe with the Detroit Pistons, with, one of your superstars not even there, and one of your veterans not there, and a rising rookie as well. So, second year guy. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not going to say that they can beat the Detroit Pistons, but to do this with 3 guys down, actually not that bad. So we'll see how that plays out when it comes to the Hawks, because we're going to continue to follow them as well. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. We talked about the group of 5. Hopefully they can get a playoff at some point in my lifetime, because oh my God, they really need one. Michael Penix, the Falcons. I mean, what can you say about the Falcons? It's so unfortunate with our team. It's just so unfortunate, but it is what it is. And the Hawks, not much to really be upset about. The Hawks lose a game. They just won 5 straight before losing this one. So hopefully they can get back into their winning ways. Hopefully we'll get some guys healthy. We'll see how that goes. So with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And once again, let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.